badass weed.
Baby, it's time for your show.
Oh, what time is it?
It's 7 o'clock.
Where's my bong? It is Tuesday, October 17th, and you are tuned in to Marijuana Radio. I'm KB, your host. And tonight's guests include Canada's very own Prince of Pot, Marc Emery, and Humboldt County rapper One Ton from the group Potluck. We're going to start off the music with Authority Zero and their remake of Mexican Radio. It's going to be a good show, so stick around.
The touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. Let's have a listen. What does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio. The station and talk about the Iraq invasion. I understand just a little. No comprende, it's a riddle. I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio. I was in Tijuana, sipping back an ice-cold caguama. I take requests on the telephone. I'm on a wavelength from home. I feel the hot wind on my shoulder. I dial it in from south of the border. I hear the talking on the DJ. They're trying to figure out what does he say. I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio. Radio, 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 radio,
Mexico. Yo, welcome back. As always, I'm your host, KB, and to my left is Paul, the producer. We are one man short tonight.
I'm filling in a little tonight. I'm the famous host of Barefoot Radio, the world famous host.
Joe Z. Fiend is stuck in Colorado's very first snowstorm of the year in traffic. 10 miles an hour, occasionally zero, about 45 minutes out of Denver. And I think we're going to get him on the phone.
You want to call him up?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
See how his progress is going.
Ooh, that's loud.
I love that Mexican radio song. Radio, why do I say it like that? Mexican
307,
radio.
what's this 307 jive?
They're from Wyoming, brother.
1307.
Don't get out of number, right? Sitting in traffic, and the snow is falling and falling and falling.
Hello.
Josephus.
What's happening, man?
Hey, brother, we are on air. Where are you?
Hi. Well, let's see. Let's read the sign. Exit 172 Upper Lake Gulch Road, 1 mile. So just outside of Colorado Springs, about 5 miles.
So you're not even close to making it in for this show then.
No, definitely not. Mother Nature has declared a jihad on my hopes and dreams, so I'm not going to make it.
Dis, Joe.
So, let's see. Our sponsor tonight is the Go Pipe, and I know that you're the Go Pipe authority. So,
yeah, man, I got one in my hand right now. That's the only thing keeping me sane and stress-free. I just watched a semi-truck roll down the wrong way on the exit ramp with a lot of cars behind them, so that was pretty intense.
And your Go Pipe is keeping you company.
But the Go Pipe is definitely like a warm blanket on this cold, dreary night driving back to Denver.
We've got Go Pipes in the studio. I actually brought them for everyone, so...
Sweet. Am I going to get another one?
I think you can probably have another one, but we're going to give away the other two that are going to go unclaimed tonight.
I'll probably give it away to a lady, a special lady.
Well,
and my roommate.
The Go Pipe, explain to us what a Go Pipe is, Josephus.
The Go Pipe is made out of black walnut. It is a two-piece smoking device with a silver sterling screen in it that also acts as a little chamber where you can keep your pot. Once you take the top off and you pack it in there, you can put it back together like a transformer and just start puffing.
It's like a one-hitter, and it looks like a cigar. That's the cool part of it is that you can... It's made by Cigar-Arama, I think, are the manufacturers, and
it's very urban-friendly.
You can smoke it walking down the street.
And they won't know.
I wouldn't necessarily go there, though. I don't recommend that.
Well, I know that Zen smokes it walking down the street. Zen being your roommate and possibly...
my chauffeur at the moment.
Exactly.
Right.
All right, well, we're going to get back to the show, man. Drive safe.
You guys.
Hey, hold on, Joe.
What's up?
Dis. I'm just teasing you, dude. I said dis.
I didn't even know you were there, man. You were so silent. I was hoping to hear your voice.
Dis. That's all.
What's that noise? Am I getting like a different frequency in the phone?
No, I'm breaking your balls. Dis.
All right.
I'm just kidding, man.
Drive safe.
All right,
we'll see you when
next
you get
week,
back.
Haas.
Okay, yeah, I'll call you guys when I'm there.
Don't let me down.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, man.
See you, Joe.
Bye-bye.
Later.
All right. A couple of things to cover. We want to go into the bag. Tenacious D, I found out, is going to be in Denver on November 22nd.
You'll be gone.
And I'll be gone, but I think we might be able to do something. We'll get him on the phone. So if you know Tenacious D,
hook us up.
If you bump into them on the street,
Yeah,
then
that's right.
by all means, let them know that Marijuana Radio wants to have them on.
I want Tenacious D here, too.
Yeah.
Or like on the phone or anything associated with me and my ego.
If you find them, have them...
Calm down.
Have them
you calm down.
Dial the studio lines, which are now open, by the way, thanks to our sister station / parent company, Barefoot Radio.
That's correct.
And the number is 1-888-640-5899.
That's right. You can leave a message there, too.
Yeah, please do. Just
if
give
we
us
don't answer you because you're a loser, leave a message.
Just,
or a winner.
Give us a shout-out. You know, say you like Marijuana Radio or something like that.
But hook up to Jack Black, for real.
Amen.
Don't we want Jack Black on here?
Yeah.
And I'm going to try and reach him through his people, too, but I got cold feet this week. I was like, I am not good enough producer to call for Jack Black yet. But I will. I think I really will.
I'm going to try this week, too. I'm going to see what I can do to break through, and maybe at the very least we can do something while they're in town. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So another thing I want to mention is we're now listed, Marijuana Radio is listed in Podcast Alley, which is a large podcast directory, and we're trying to make the top 10 there. So we'd really appreciate your votes. So if you go to podcastalley.com and search for marijuana, we're on there. I think there's about 20.
You're the last one on the list.
Yeah, right. Because we're
Very
the
bottom,
the last one to get
Order
in.
of submitted, maybe.
Exactly. It has to be, because we actually have the highest rated marijuana show on Podcast Alley right now.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah.
Some people would say that is the biggest podcast related to marijuana in the world, but that's not true.
Maybe not.
Because Podcast Alley is not that big, but they're good. I think it's helpful if people go there and vote for you.
I think so, too. So just go to Podcast Alley, search for marijuana, find us in the list, and vote for us. We'd certainly appreciate it.
It's a big favor.
Yeah,
You're
thanks.
supporting a show that has a lot of hope to succeed in a lot of ways. What is success in podcasting?
That's a good question, yeah. Let's see. Our first guest tonight is...
I'm going to call this dude up now.
Yeah, let's try to get him on the phone. He is Canada's and possibly the world's most outspoken activist,
Mark?
for the legalization of marijuana.
Is that who I'm calling?
Mark, yes.
Okay.
Marc Emery, who I'm sure he's going to tell us his story, was arrested on the 29th of July, 2005, for selling seeds from his store in Canada. And
Oh, yeah. I remember you talking about this guy. This will be an interesting discussion.
I think so.
CC Magazine.
Hello, is Mark there?
Yep, just a moment.
Thank you.
Hey.
That's very cute.
Hey, Mark. It's
Yes,
KB
hello.
with Marijuana Radio. How are you?
I'm good.
We are on air now. Thanks for taking the time.
Ask away.
All right. Let's see. I'm fairly versed in your backstory, but for our listeners who aren't, why don't you tell us how you became the Prince of Pot?
Well, I came up with this revolutionary idea in around 1990 when they'd banned all books and magazines and video and everything about cannabis and any illicit substance. So you couldn't buy High Times magazine in Canada. You couldn't get Grow books. You couldn't buy The Emperor Wears No Clothes, which is what
Jack.
precipitated my activism, because I put on a concert by a fellow named Jello Biafra in 1990 on his I Blow Minds for a Living tour. And one of the segments in his spoken word presentation is a segment called Grow More Pot. Now, he doesn't actually condone the use of marijuana, but he says, you know, for the revolutionary and environmental and sustainable principles of the environment, we should be growing more pot, according to this book by Jack Herrera, for biomass and a variety of other things.
Right.
And in Canada, that book was banned. So I immediately bought a whole bunch of Emperor Wears No Clothes and Grow books and High Times magazines, ordered them from the United States, got them, smuggled them through the mail, and then bought ads in my local newspapers to announce that I invited the police to charge me for selling illicit drug literature, which had a $100,000 fine and 6 months in jail attached to it.
So you couldn't buy High Times or Jack's book in Canada, or you'd go to jail.
Yeah, that's right.
Or you couldn't sell it, I guess.
You know, that was the theory, actually. See, what the theory is, they passed a law and they'd seized inventories of the famous Canadian book, Grow Your Own Stone. They'd told the High Times distributor not to let it come into Canada or they'd be charged. So there was a complete freeze on it. But when I tried to get charged because I thought the law was unconstitutional, I, in fact, could not get charged. That the local police were quite content to let me sell all the drug books I wanted, marijuana books and Emperor Wears No Clothes books, because at least it was just one guy. You still couldn't buy High Times anywhere in the country, and everybody knew that constitutionally the law was very suspect and that somebody who really got charged with it and was willing to go to court would probably overturn it.
And that
anyway,
was...
it takes me about 5 years to overturn that, but by the year 1995 comes around, I'm selling 2,000 copies of High Times every month to stores all across Canada. And I originally started my stores out here in British Columbia by selling banned books and magazines door to door on the street for 3 or 4 months until I got up enough extra money to pay the first rent on a little building that was a former communist Albanian bookshop that had been firebombed, so it was in pretty bad disrepair.
Right.
And the landlord said, "You can have anything, you can do your hemp revolution business, I don't care, just clean this place up." So
Interesting legacy.
So, and then what we did is I hit upon this wonderful idea to sell seeds to people all over the world so they could become self-sufficient in marijuana. And they would send me lots of money. I charge more than anybody else for these seeds. So I told them, so I'm charging you lots of money because I need all your money so I can give it away and foment this revolution. And in fact, that's what I did. They sent me about $15 million over the next 10 years, of which the profit on that was about $4 million, which I gave away. And I gave it away to ballot initiatives in Washington, D.C., Arizona, Alaska, Nevada. I paid for class action suits in Philadelphia where I brought like 80 MedPot people in their wheelchairs and stuff from all over the United States so they could testify in a federal court in Philadelphia. And that alone cost $30,000 for 2 days. And we lost that class action suit, as we often lose lots of these court things. But you have to keep trying. You find any kind of angle you can.
Mark, so you're saying you tried to get in trouble on purpose, and you got all these donations. I think some people would say it's crazy trying to get in trouble on purpose like that, but I understand the political motivation.
Well, it's not, you don't try and get in trouble on purpose. You just have a mission. The mission is to thwart the DEA, overthrow the U.S. federal government, rather overgrow them, and through peaceful means, and then get rid of all the evil people there, make sure there's tons of weed everywhere in North America. My idea was if I sold millions of seeds, we'd produce millions of plants, and we'd run the DEA ragged, and they'd spend millions and millions of dollars in futility, and eventually they'd all surrender.
And from that was born overgrow the government, is that right?
Oh, well, all those phrases, overgrow the government, yeah, exactly.
You gave away $4 million.
Idea.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and to lots of people, too. We paid for the global marijuana marches and producing posters for 120 cities across the world in 6 languages every year. We sponsored the Supreme Court decision here in Canada. Like, we paid for that over 7 years to get the Supreme Court.
Was the jail time mandatory? If you got in trouble, was the jail time mandatory?
No. Although we did overturn that. As soon as we got charged in 1994, we were able to overturn that. And so now, since 1995, books and magazines are legal in Canada. And lots of things became legal. You know, we were vigorous campaigners for industrial hemp, and that's legal here in Canada. We vigorously campaigned for medical marijuana, and that's legal here in Canada, although not nearly as commonly taken advantage of as in the United States. You know, they just issued the millionth medical marijuana card in California.
Right on.
Out of the 30 million people in California, it's 37 million people actually, and 1 million people now have medical marijuana cards, which is pretty fantastic, whereas only about 2,000 people in Canada are legally qualified under our medical program.
You know, do you think a lot of people who wind up getting medical marijuana prescriptions, do you think they're faking it? Like, I've heard them say, I have headaches, and I think, sure, dude.
I never use that term medical, but I use it as therapeutic, and I'll tell you why. You know what? Vitamin C, you don't take vitamin C to keep for diseases, but if you don't have vitamin C, you'll be in bad health.
Right.
And I look at it that taking vitamin C is not medical, but it's therapeutic. And so if you smoke pot and you feel better, or you perform better, or you're happier, then that's clearly therapeutic. It's clearly making you better.
But physically.
Your mind. And of course, disease is mostly of mental nature. I mean, when you feel pain, you can stop it if you want by a variety of methods, and a lot of that's blocking the signal to your brain, as well as perhaps alleviating the actual physical wound. So I think cannabis is very therapeutic for all humans who use it, and that in some ways could be interpreted as a medical use.
So then it wouldn't be necessarily faking it. It would just be using it for reasons that are on the fringes of medical use. Or the,
well,
you know.
I would not so convinced that they're on the fringes. I think any therapy that makes people feel better, from physical therapy, from jogging, to sex, to taking drugs, to taking medicines, to exercising, to, you know, even reading is good for your mind. Right? It's an exercise for an intellectual. I know we don't consider that medical or therapeutic, but I'll tell you, if you don't think for a month, it's going to be really tough after that. Right? So you got to exercise all these things, including your cannabinoid receptors, so you don't get Alzheimer's, so you don't get all these different illnesses that happen when people don't smoke pot.
I think my cannabinoid is dead.
What's that?
My cannabinoid is paralyzed.
Well, no. Your cannabinoid receptors are always looking for the chocolate or the cannabis in your system.
It's not even looking.
If they go for decades without any kind of stimulation or use, then they wither away, like a lot of our body parts do as we hit our 50s, 60s, and 70s. And that's why people who smoke a lot of pot never get Alzheimer's, just like they don't get respiratory cancers or emphysemas or lung cancers or any kind of respiratory ailments, because the THC attacks all single anomalies, all free radicals, and all tumors in those areas, and old dead cells. So you're always cleaning up all the dead cells before they become a problem.
So you got to a point where you were selling how many seeds a year at your height?
I sold a total of about 5 to 6 million seeds probably over a period of 10 years. And
then on July 29th of 2005, you were arrested by the Canadian police.
Well, actually, the DEA ordered... I say ordered because the Canadian government is really a lackey of the United States federal government and all its police forces here.
The warrant was issued out of Seattle, right?
The warrant was issued May 6th, 2005 out of Seattle, and it was executed here on July 29th. And I was arrested speaking at a group called Maritimers United for Medical Marijuana out in Halifax area. And the DEA was with the Canadian police officers the whole time I was arrested. So they were escorted by their DEA patron, you know, making sure all the Canadian foot soldiers know how to arrest somebody as big and as huge and as scary as me.
Right.
And, so I had the honor guard follow me all around. I was released after being in jail, 4 different jails here over 7 days. So that's my 23rd arrest, I believe, and my 17th
Good
jailing.
God.
I've been in more than 17 jails.
Well, how are your co-conspirators, Greg Williams and Michelle Rainey, holding up?
Well, it's been a year and 3 months now, so they're holding up fine. Michelle's got a great career doing shows on YouTube, which I encourage you to check out. Michelle Rainey does a weekly show on YouTube where she's in her grow room trimming buds. She has a legal license, by the way, to grow lots of pot, 49 plants, so she often is seen trimming her buds. She has Crohn's disease.
In Canada? This is in Canada?
Yes.
Okay.
And she's allowed to have 49 plants, which she grows for her Crohn's disease. But it's on one hand interesting that she's being extradited, and yet she has a license to have a whole garden in her house. You know, it's kind
In
of
Canada,
weird
right.
So anyway, she's coping well. She's applying her talents to video on YouTube. Greg Williams, my other co-accused, he produces all the shows on Pot TV and is also involved in uploading things to YouTube. And we've gotten as politically active as ever, if not more so. We're probably more politically active than ever before.
I can see that.
And it's not slowing us down anyway. You know, I dare the Canadian people and the American people. Go ahead, extradite me. I dare you. See what happens.
Mark, do you lock your front door?
I don't worry about those things.
I just wondered.
So if you're extradited, you're facing 10 years to life. Is that right?
Oh, it'll be life. Let's face it. On CNN, the DEA said I was responsible for 1.1 million pounds of marijuana.
Pounds.
Now, you think about 1.1 million pounds. There's nobody in the history of American criminal justice been charged with 1.1 million pounds. That's worth $2.7 billion. And you know what? If it's all true, boy, am I proud. That's great. There's nobody alive that can say I brought $2.7 billion to my community. Everybody should kiss my ass, throw petals on the ground that I walked before, and throw silken sheets everywhere
I want to ask you, are you...
Because no one else has brought that much wealth to any community that I've ever heard of in my life, not even the billionaires.
Come on, are you afraid? Are you afraid of that at all? Like you're saying you want this to happen. Do you want the government
I want it to happen. I dare it to happen because I want the consequences.
So I agree.
So do Greg and Michelle face the same terms?
What's that?
Do Greg Williams and Michelle Rainey face the same 10 years to life?
Well, I can't believe that. First of all, 1.1 million pounds means I'm the biggest person they'll have ever brought before a U.S. federal court on a drug charge.
Right.
Now, you can't give a guy like that 5 or 10 years if you're giving Weldon Angelos 55 years for 1 ounce of weed with a gun under his seat.
Right.
Somehow, if you're called by the DEA the largest drug trafficking kingpin in all of Canada, the top 50 most wanted people in the world, then I got to figure I'm getting more than that guy who's got an ounce under his car seat there. So when you're talking Mr. Big, you're talking supermaxes and you're talking life imprisonment without parole.
I've heard the term martyr thrown around a lot when it comes to you, Mark, and you seem to be fairly comfortable with that option. Do you think being extradited and convicted in the U.S. will do more for our cause than not?
Oh, for sure it would. I think it would make millions of Canadians very angry, and they would seize and foment, and it would cause... See, that's why America is doomed to lose in all these wars it fights, because for every action the Americans take an overreach and slaughter a family or rape some 15-year-old girl or kill people or participate in the observation of hundreds of people killing themselves daily, people remember that. They're going to blame the Americans for all that.
Right.
And they're going to create millions and millions of people with a burning hatred for the United States.
We're not all that bad.
Which will ultimately help overthrow the system that they hate so much. So I'm hoping that if I get sent away to America, millions of people will burn with such anger for the federal government of the United States that they will take action and do things that will hasten both the demise of the U.S. federal government and the end of prohibition.
So you'd like that to happen. I mean,
Absolutely.
you don't want it to happen, but
no, you need a crisis for change. I absolutely need the U.S. government to act like the barbaric set of pigs that they are, because otherwise you won't get people aroused to action. They have to be barbaric. They have to overreach. They have to be involved in this massive pogrom on a huge scale. And if I can be the lightning rod, the one person who represents all those million people that they abuse every year, between Canada and North America, it's 1 million people on pot charges of one kind or another every year. If I can be the one person that people can put a faith to and that they can be angry about, that would be really, really good.
So let's say that you are extradited, you are convicted, and they sentence you to life. Do you think that you'll spend the rest of your life in jail, or do you think that there'll be an uprising, an army of people to come and change things?
Might take a decade, might never happen, might die in jail. If I was the DEA, I wouldn't let me get out of jail alive. Are you kidding?
I've heard you say that being an activist has at times fucked with your personal relationships in the past. And
No. It's just it burns women out.
I know that you're newlywed. Congratulations. Yeah. And I can only imagine that extradition would be hard on you and your wife.
I guess, although she's known me, ever since she's known me, she's known it's been a turbulent period of time with all sorts of challenges that aren't going to be typically found in any other relationship or any other situation. So it's unique in that, she certainly has no skills to appreciate, like to deal with an experience like this. In other words, nobody prepares you for that kind of thing, right?
Right.
You just can't get educated about it. So, it's an adventure. Yeah, all these things have to be seen as adventures. They're not tragedies. They're not things to be sad about. Good things will come of me being in jail for whatever time I'm in there, whether it's writing my memoirs, learning French or Spanish. You got to have lots of projects for jail.
Aren't they?
Especially if you're going to be there a long time.
Aren't they making a? Didn't you say something to me the other day about making a movie?
Well, they're making a couple of movies, hopefully. One is a documentary that perhaps will be released. It's supposedly finished principal filming for now. It'll be released at the end of next year, according to their schedule.
Right.
And then there's a Hollywood company interested in a movie of the week with actors, which will be more problematic because most movies that this company does, it's Talon Robbins. There are things like Coach Carter or Radio, which are like feel-good stories about people everybody can rally around. Well, you can rally around me, but whether CBS or some place, Fox Television, is going to put a story about the Prince of Pot challenging the U.S. federal government, hoping he brings George Bush down, or some kind of aspect of the federal government, is going to be overgrown, lovely and romantic as that sounds. It sounds a little too political to get on Movie of the Week stuff with lots of advertising.
Well,
but if you got some guy who's like mentally handicapped and he makes a football team, well, that's a heartwarming story that America just loves.
Wants
it doesn't
to
require them
embrace.
to think at all.
Well, for those of us who don't necessarily want to see you extradited and placed in jail,
if you extra, do something.
Exactly. What can we do, Mark? How can we
Well, the one thing
help?
people can really do that no one does do is give my lawyers money, because I'm broke. I get $2,000 a month from my magazine, and I have to pay
Donate to my lawyer.
and $70 of it to my creditors. Because remember, when I was stealing $250,000 in sales a month, in seeds, I ran up quite a bunch of bills and credits, right? And then they take away that business, and I'm this humble editor making $500 a week, and I've got to pay $1,800 of that $2,000 I get a month to my banks that lent me all this money back in the old days. I live on $200 a month, so I live on my girlfriend's largesse, basically. She pays the rent, and I live with her, and I pay the phone bill. That's all the money I have left to afford. And
she's a good girl.
I know it. Like, my lawyer's a deal. He's only charging me $100 an hour, but we've already spent the $47,000 we raised, and it was gone right away. And so the lawyer actually has a balance of zero right now, and I have no ability to pay him whatsoever. Otherwise, there's not much people can do other than write letters to their congressman, write letters to the Canadian Justice Minister, write letters to newspapers, and talk to people about it. If you just tell people about it and have them raise awareness that America is now going after activists and foreign nationals who get in the way of its imperial empire plans, then that should be, along with all the other things Americans have to be very worried about their government, they can be worried about one more thing.
Well, I can imagine that if they visited marcemery.com, that...
marcemery.com doesn't take you anywhere. I've never been egocentrical enough to actually have my own website, because I figured if you need to go to cannabisculture.com or pot.tv, or go to MySpace _vote 2006 _Army. That's our campaign we're working on right now, is getting young people to get out and vote in the November 7th election.
Let me repeat that, Mark.
We have a profile of every district, all 435 districts in the United States. We've got a complete profile of everybody's voting options in that district. So if you email me at mark@cannabisculture.com, I will give you a complete profile of your writing, or go to MySpace _vote 2006 _Army at MySpace and check us out.
So that's myspace.com /MySpace _vote 2006 _Army. And
you got it. And it's great, too, because that'll tell you a whole bunch of... It'll tell you all the drug law reform...
I read it today, in preparation for this.
And there's so many people from our community who are running elections for the Democratic Party, even for the Republican Party on the rare moment, but mostly the Green Party, Libertarian parties, independents. There's lots of drug law reform candidates on the ballot in almost every state. I will say there's a few exceptions like Louisiana and Oklahoma and Utah. But most places have some very optimistic and excellent politicians looking for your vote. And boy, is it ever going to be a close election in so many ridings. So get your zip code profile from Mark at the MySpace Army right away.
And our listeners will be able to visit MarijuanaRadio.com, and we'll have a link to that on the site. And I just want to thank you for coming on, Mark. It was educational. It was interesting to speak to you, and I hope you come on the show again before May when you
Yeah, that's right. Well, I look forward to it.
All right, my friend. Thanks.
Talk to you later. Bye.
See you. All right. And
You're the Prince of Pot, KB. Don't listen to that guy. You're the Prince of Pot.
I always wondered why he took the moniker Prince instead of the King of Pot, or
Yeah.
you know what I mean, like
Maybe you're the king.
dictator of pot, or you know what I mean,
Because you do the radio show, man.
the Prince of Pot. There's an interesting story behind how he actually got the
Interesting story,
nickname.
though. What
I
he's
don't
saying.
have it.
He's out of his mind.
Well,
He's definitely a martyr type mentality.
He is. He
Most people, I would advise, being a martyr is not worth it, like, if it's on a small scale. But if you're like this big dude in the media, it's kind of worth it for your legacy to go down, like, in flames.
Well,
so life sounds a little crazy.
You don't get to appreciate it. You get to appreciate it in hindsight, or, you know, in letters once a week through the warden, you know. It doesn't sound like a...
No more pushing pot to Americans.
I don't think I
don't have a problem with that. You know how much I would love it if we could grow weed and I had a supplier of great seeds. I'd love it if I could make that my retirement hobby.
Well, like he was talking about before, medical marijuana patients and caregivers. You know, in our state in Colorado, you can become a caregiver, and it's very easy to get a medical marijuana card. You had asked how many people are faking it. Many people have told me, you know, because I have friends in the medical marijuana community, I have said, KB, go out and get your medical marijuana card. It'll just, you know, make it easier to walk around the street and not go to jail. But I'm not sick, and I'd feel hypocritical about.
There are a lot of hypocrites pulling that card. I mean, I've heard guys say, "Oh, I do it because I have headaches," and I think you're lying dope.
I could get one.
I'll get a headache if I stop smoking.
Yeah.
So what kind of logic does it make to like prescribe it to stop my headaches?
I
get a headache because you get dehydrated from it too.
I don't think I'm going to get one. I think I'm going to wait until November 8th when it's legal to smoke pot in Colorado.
You're just assuming it'll be legalized?
I'm thinking that it will. All right, so we're going to go into the next song break, and we will catch you cats in a minute. Peace.
You've got Colonel Gaddafi. We've got Daffy Duck.
Hello, I'm the Chronic.
And I'm Schwag.
So, Schwag, you want to smoke up?
Sure. Let me just open up my bag, and, well, I have some seeding to do, and there are these stems. What was that?
Well, I'm in a 420 jar. Can't you tell by the killer graphic on the outside or the 420 jars logo on the bottom?
What's that amazing smell?
Oh, yeah, 420 jars seal airtight, so you can't smell me till you take the lid off.
Fuck you, Chronic.
That is awful swag. With over 50 designs and sizes to fit every stash, there's a 420 jar for you. Do yourself a favor and visit 420jars.com today.
420jars.com. 420jars.com.
Smoke it, you got it.
Marijuana Radio.
I see her walking in the building.
Reason pop love the weed song. From the county with the best weed, you can't impress me. I saw the sticky green way before I was a teen. So I'm fucked up, living Humboldt County life. Still pray to Mary Jane, cause she takes away the pain at night. I'm in a daze, getting blazed every day now. Royal blunts and sprinkled hash is what we pass around. No seeds, no stems, no mold, man. Only hold frosty nugs, call me the snowman. Grab the bone with both hands and suck the smoke. Pull the carbon, breathe it in until it's filling up your throat. Let it enter your chest, this chronic's what we cherish. Us kids in Humboldt County chiefin' more than Robert Parrish. Who you messin' with? I'm a pothead that will never quit. We rollin' fat blunts, you hit that Mexi shit. We puff incredible, Mary J's my centerfold. Back to back, smoking and choking until my head explodes.
I see her walking in the building.
Louise and Pop Luck, the weed song. Cultivator, a smoker, not a hater. Show you
how to roll a blunt, explain it to you later. Cause Mary Jane's a motherfucker, catch you in a caper. I put her in a bone and pimp her for a little paper. Live another day, another hit up off a J. When I say either get high or get up out the way, I don't play about the hay. Smoking more than he say, more hits up on rips than mouse clicks on eBay. Believe it, it's authentic. Smoke a lot of spinach, been puffing with the big chiefs. It's more than just an image. Blunts, I roll them up and smoke them till they finish. Humboldt County is the skunk, but Irish is the Guinness. Got a blunt, I like to hit it. No sense in fighting with it. I'm a man who got a problem, time to stand up and admit it. I talk it and I live it. I never wanna quit it. Name is Ton, I'm addicted. I love you, baby.
I see her walk in the
Yo, this Kush blunt to make a geek like another Urkel. My weed like Whoopi Goldberg, the color purple. Pass it in the circle, don't fuck up the cypher. Puff, puff, past the fire, don't try to tuck my lighter. I blow dro in a peach and bong. Smoke like Cheech and Chong, till the hashi's gone. Till the Keith honeycomb and the weed is gone. Get your tweak on, loonies and pop luck, the weed song. You buy singles and packs, I buy boxes. Smoke back to back, knock niggas unconscious. OG Kush one hit, make niggas vomit. Granddaddy purple boy, not the average chronic. I used to have 5 on it, now I got G's on it. You can't outsmoke me, better pee on it. I'll win, sell your weed by candy stain. Triple gold Dana Danes for that Mary Jane. Shit.
I see her walk in the building.
Loonies and pop luck, the weed song.
First time I met Mary, I knew that I would hit her till the end of 95. I was always with her. I rode with her daily. She even came on tour with me. On stage, she wore brown to fool with me. In front of 50,000 with Nutty. I got screams just because of my honey. But something good as that, I just couldn't sit with it. I had to share, I let all my niggas hit it. Was good, so we used her and used her and used her. But my sprung ass fucked around and abused her. Then I got scared, told myself I was leaving. But I hit it one more time and that bitch got even. She got even so bad, it was damn near curtains. But that's love for you. This shit had my heart hurting. I still want you, but right now it's too soon. I'ma just settle for hitting it every blue moon.
Hey, welcome back. That song you were listening to is Mary Jane off of the Straight Outta Humboldt release of Potluck. And our next guest has literally been blazing a trail of rap success from his organic roots in Humboldt County for more than 10 years. Paul, help me welcome to the Marijuana Radio 1 Ton from Potluck.
Hi, 1 Ton.
Hey, what's up? We got Underrated here, too. What's going on?
Right on. You got us live out there?
Yep.
Right on.
You guys smoking this evening?
Yeah, we just came from the studio, actually.
Right on. Hey, 1 Ton, what was it like growing up in Humboldt?
Actually, I've been in Humboldt for 10 years, but Underrated, he grew up in Humboldt, man. He's born and raised, so he can tell you a little bit about that.
It's cool. It's just whatever you would think. Hippies running around and everyone's smoking.
Right.
Everyone's real cool to each other. That's the main thing about Humboldt. Everyone just gets along and pretty much smokes. And the plants, the marijuana plants, are just pretty much the craziest thing you'd ever see.
Do they grow wild?
They do, but not, the real ones that you would see. People have their little secrets, and they do it for years, and they get them real, real big.
So is pot a fairly predominant? Is it just a known thing in Humboldt?
Oh yeah, you can. It's pretty much like there's a venue that we play out here. They basically have a marijuana smoking section at the venue.
Really?
But it's it's not that big of a deal around here.
What's the venue?
It is what is it called? What's the name of it? I forget. Oh, the Mateel. It's called the Mateel Community Center.
Cool.
Southern Humboldt.
Hey, how did you guys end up hooking up and forming Potluck?
We started as DJs actually about 10 years ago, and we met at a DJ tryout. We started DJing together, then we started making beats together, then we started rapping together and touring together, and here we are.
Looking at you, you look like the odd couple, you know what I mean? But when I listen to your music, it's fucking tight, you know. It's you guys make a real good team. But looking at you, you guys you wouldn't expect you to be partnered up, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the cool thing about the music, just about music in general, or hip hop too. Like, we just really like the music, and we really like the same kind of music. And once we started DJing, we realized, we came from completely different backgrounds, but we look at some things the same way. So,
how old are you guys?
25 and 26.
How old were you guys when you first smoked dope?
Good question.
Like 11.
I think I was a little older. I think I was like 14.
11? Who the hell showed you pot at 11?
Man,
Come on, I want to know.
I showed myself pot when I was 11.
You showed yourself pot?
I came from a whole different spot, man. I used to be like a lookout for the dope sellers in my neighborhood when I was 11 years old.
Oh, brother.
Where did you grow up, Wanta?
San Diego, Southeast San Diego.
Right on. Hey, your new album is Straight Outta Humboldt. That's your first album with Suburban Noise, is that right?
Yeah, it's our first one with Suburban Noise.
What was that experience like?
Suburban Noise is cool, man. They're really they kind of have like a us against the world mentality. It's really independent. Everyone there is extremely like some of the hardest workers you'll ever meet. Whether it's the the intern there who's just there for a summer job, or it's the president of the record label. They all work extremely hard, and all just have open minds and really support what you're trying to do. We came in there with a whole bunch of ideas, and they really let us run with pretty much whatever we wanted to do, and they gave us a couple words of advice to let us do our own thing. So that was much appreciated. Most labels ain't going, you get on a major label, they're not going to let you decide what songs you want to make and what you rap about and what your single is going to be and all that.
Yeah.
Suburban don't do all that.
So they're treating you pretty good then.
Yeah, I can't complain.
We got nothing but love for Suburban Noise here. So, do you have a favorite track on Straight Outta Humboldt?
Well, my favorite track personally is "Money Makes the World Go Round." Half because of like what we talk about in the song, but a lot of it is because James Boy on there who sings the hook. He basically put us together. He performed at a lot of our shows at the beginning, and he was like basically our right hand man our whole time doing songs together. And so to come back to the record, with us kind of going our separate ways over the past couple of years, but then to come back together to do that song on this record and the biggest opportunity Potluck's ever had.
It sounds like you took advantage of it. It's a killer album.
Yeah. Do you guys get a lot of ladies that are into your music, and do you have a lot of hotties hanging around?
I'll let Underrated answer that question.
It depends on what you think of, when you say hottie.
Well, do you like chicks with fat butts or skinny butts? I don't know.
It's normal. It's not MTV like what you would think, but there's always people that are, fans.
Right. You're on the road. You run into people who are fans of your music and want to,
Do you guys like the girls with the big booty?
Is this? You ask funny questions.
Thank
Paul's
you.
a funny guy, man.
There's nothing wrong with that.
You like big ass on women. That's
Sure.
cool. I like the ass very thin on a woman, like sickly looking skinny.
Fuck
Really?
that, Paul.
Yes.
He does. It's true. We've had women in studio who look, heroin chic that Paul...
Yeah, junked out big time. That's hot.
Hey, I was talking to Daddy X from the Cottonmouth Kings a couple of months ago, and it really shocked me to hear him say that he didn't think that his music would ever get on mainstream radio, and he was cool with that. But I am always kind of an activist, kind of change in the world kind of person, and I thought that was it was odd that he would never, that he thinks he'll never hear his tracks on mainstream radio. Do you think that you can cross over with Straight Outta Humboldt?
Well, we look at what we do as not really crossover, man. We're independent by freedom of expression and freedom of choice, but we don't look at like there's people that they play on the radio right now that I think make really good music. So
well, I didn't mean crossover like you're trying to get into that, but I'm talking about mainstream radio recognizing something that has an herbal feel to it, and maybe playing that online or on the air.
Well, as far as mainstream radio so far, the song that we did with E40, because E40 is really hot right now. That You Ain't That Fine song is kind of it has a real universal appeal. So like on the West Coast, from San Diego to LA to the Bay Area, like on some late night mix shows, they've been playing it.
Oh, right on. That's got to feel good.
Rotation and being on there, like like they would play Jay-Z or P. Diddy or something like that. I mean, as an artist, you want your music to be exposed to the greatest amount of people as possible. You want to touch as many people as you can. So, I mean, if that were to happen, we'd be very happy. And then we think, since we're fans of all types of music, I don't see why that couldn't happen. But, just what Brad X, I think, was also trying to say is, just because we've also talked about this before, is just the way that corporate America just completely monopolizes in mainstream radio and does different things like that keeps independent artists and independent expression from getting on the airwaves.
Right. Hey, are you guys on tour now, or are you? I know that you're going to be in Colorado in December, right?
Yeah, we leave October 27th, and then we're going to be on tour all the way to December 11th. So we're at home in the studio.
Well, I know that you guys are going to be in Colorado, and I've talked to some people that said that you might bless us with your presence in studio when you get here.
Well, we go wherever they tell us to go.
All right. Well, I'll talk to them and see if I can get you in here. Hey, I want to thank you guys for being on Marijuana Radio, and good luck with Straight Outta Humboldt, and we love it, and we'll keep pimping your music all the time.
All right. Thanks for having us.
Take it easy.
Take it easy, guys. Keep making music.
All right.
There you go.
You asked them if they like big ass. Paul, you are.
I don't think it's unreasonable to ask rappers if they like big ass. This guy's name's One Ton.
Yeah, right. Interesting characters, and their music is great. I love that. Mary Jane, I was going to say, was my favorite track off of their album. Clifford, what are we listening to in the background?
It is Dirtball. It's called Dirtball.
Dirtball. I like Dirtball.
Strange stuff.
All right, hey, we're going to go into our last song, which is White Trash Renegade by Big B. So enjoy.
Alright, yo. Yeah, we gon' keep it like.
Hi, this is Keith Strop, the founder of Normal, and you're listening to Marijuana Radio.
Marijuana Radio! Straight out of Sin City, America's most feared white trash renegade. Suburban noise heavyweight, suffocating all you fakes and phonies. Big B!
White trash renegade, doing things my way. From the streets to the club, people show me love, cause they know it ain't gonna change. Still say the same. White trash renegade. White trash renegade, doing things my way. From the streets to the club, people show me love, cause they know it ain't gonna change. Still say the same. White trash, here we go. Let's play a game. I follow the leader as I make you all a believer. It's okay to be an underachiever, white and ugly as ever. However, stay spaded down and clever. Never underestimate the power of white trash. Equipped with the flash, a ghetto pass, a can of whoop ass. Official sub noise heavyweight. Won't hesitate to defecate on your prom day. About to blow up, so watch me detonate. Yeah, it's Big B, the one you love to hate. So many selling out, but I promise I ain't. And while cats out there pulling gas, thinking they hard. I'm running with cats, we jumping about 100 yards. Now that's gangster, yeah. White trash renegade, doing things my way. From the streets to the club, people show me love, cause they know it ain't gonna change. Still say the same. White trash renegade. White trash renegade, doing things my way. From the streets to the club, people show me love, cause they know it ain't gonna change. Still say the same. White trash renegade. I can say truthfully, you never see me rolling in the Bentley. Never see me having lunch with Christina or Brittany. Hopefully never in the tabloids like Bobby or Whitney. As I'm punking fools on a daily basis, fall into the wayside as I take their places. Looking at those funny looks on their faces worldwide. I'm leaving them wide-eyed and terrified. Street cred verified, and I refuse to
change. Worst mistake was letting me in this game. When I die, they gonna say I stayed the same. Representing this West Coast soil, leaving you looking like you ain't so spoiled. White trash renegade, doing things my way. From the streets to the club, people show me love, cause they know I ain't gonna change. Still say the same. White trash renegade. White trash renegade, doing things my way. From the streets to the club, people show me love, cause they know I ain't gonna change. Still say the same. White trash renegade. Roll the windows down, turn the stereo up, just to let them know I don't give a fuck. Bike in the back, yo, bitches in the front. Fuck your rules, I do what I want. Got no intention on cruising the boulevard. I do what I want and I'ma die hard. See me at the river in them big boats. AMK and Chucky Styles by my side taking big pokes. Yeah, I party like a rock star, but I'm still broke. Man, I make records, I ain't no sports star. I drive Cadillacs and big trucks. So fuck you and that piece of shit sports car. White trash renegade, doing things my way. From the streets to the club, people show me love, cause they know I ain't gonna change. Still say the same. White trash renegade. White trash renegade, doing things my way. From the streets to the club, people show me love, cause they know I ain't gonna change. Still say the same. White trash renegade. White trash renegade, doing things my way. You thought we wasn't gonna come back to round two? This is big motherfucking B, holding down the underground. White trash renegade. Suburban Noise record. I'm up in that ass. From the streets to the club, big motherfucking B. If you don't know, you better ask. Don't step to BB, you will get squashed.
Welcome back. Hey, we want to thank you for tuning in to Marijuana Radio this week. It was kind of fucked up since Josephus was on the road. The fuck bell. And
transcending shows.
He will. Joe will be back in studio next week. I'm not sure who our guests are going to be next week, but maybe Tenacious D will be on next week.
Yeah, right. Keep coming back. Tenacious D.
I would definitely want to thank Marc Emery, the martyr for the marijuana cause. Most definitely visit Marijuana Radio, and you can find links to Marc Emery's sites, his MySpace page, and ways that you can help him out by funding him. Apparently, is the best way.
Pay his lawyers.
Exactly. Also, 1 Ton and Underrated from Potluck. You can visit. Let's see, Suburban Noise Records. I'm looking at a page here. They've got a website, and I'm going to try to get out here. Yeah, it's potluckmusic.com. And those guys were cool. I can't wait to have them in studio. I think the higher ups who I've been talking to at Suburban Noise, they said that they'll just go where they tell them. I think I can talk them into telling them.
You going to get a hottie here next week, maybe?
Maybe. That's right. We didn't have a cutie.
A nudity
online
lady here. Yeah, no nude pictures this week.
If you need nude pictures, visit kbcuties.com. I'm sure they'll hook you up with a nude picture. We had an all Suburban Noise
Everything
show tonight.
was Suburban Noise.
Mexican Radio by Authority Zero, Mary Jane by Potluck, and White Trash Renegade by Big B, which you just heard, are all on the Suburban Noise label. You can find them at suburbannoiserecords.com. That's noise with a Z. And as always, I want to thank Barefoot Radio, without whom we would not be on the air. You can visit them. They have a live show, or Barefoot Radio is live, Thursdays and Sundays at 8:30 Eastern Time. And it's a good show.
We go 2.5 hours, have live music, do crazy stuff. No naked ladies yet, but we do crazy stuff too over there. We had a man smack his penis on the microphone one night.
Well, and then you had ladies wrestling in the
other
foyer.
night. That was fun. Just the last show we did Sunday night, we had ladies wrestling.
Which you can listen to if you visit Barefoot Radio. You can listen to all of the shows that they've previously had on, and you can do the same thing at marijuanaradio.com. Hey, we're going to get out of here.
Tell them to vote one more time.
Vote at podcastalley.com for Marijuana Radio.
That's correct. Go there, search for it, vote for it, love it.
We'll see you next week. Peace.
Ciao, baby.
Now it's time to rock the party, double dance, move the crowd. I get that shit hype when my soul